So how do I tell that I have written a good discursive essay? Some questions that you need to ask yourself. For the introduction, you can find out, did I hook my audience? Did I hook my audience? The second one is, did I state the problem? Did I mention my opinion? After you state the problem, did I mention my opinion or my point of view? Then finally, did I briefly state the reasons for my opinion? You remember that whenever we put only our opinion and we don't state the reasons why, or we don't briefly state the reasons why we made that opinion, usually we are finding it difficult to reach 50 words for the introduction. However, when you give the reasons why you have made that decision, sometimes we are around 50 words. So I encourage you people to do that. So the first question is, did I hook my audience? Did I hook my audience, which is the introduction of the topic. The second point is, did I present the issue? For every topic to be a topic of discussion, there must be an issue. So did I present the issue? Then after the issue now, the next thing is, did I present my point of view, my opinion, or how I think we need to look at this issue? That is all your thesis statement is about. How I think we need to look at this issue. And then the last one is the reasons why you are taking that position. That is, if you are taking a staunch position that maybe if it is agree, I agree. The reason why you agree, but in brief, because in your introduction you don't give details. And if you disagree, also the reason why you disagree, but in brief. And then when you go to your body paragraph, the first question you need to ask yourself, does the first sentence of each of my body paragraphs clearly point to the main idea of my paragraph? Or when reading my body paragraph, can the reader tell what the paragraph is all about? The second question is, did I support each claim I made in my body paragraph? Then your third question, which I put here, is, if I took a position, did I think about my opponent? Or did I think about what my opponent might say? And did I manage to show why their points carry less weight? So you would remember that when you decide to make your discursive essay an argumentative essay, argumentative means you took a strong position. You will use your first two body paragraphs. So the first and the second body paragraph will be to support your opinion, to strongly support your opinion. And then your last body paragraph, you remember I always recommend you guys to write 3 body paragraphs. So your last body paragraph will present the opinion of those who may disagree with you, or of those who may be on the other side. And then after you present their opinion, you now make it less valid, or you debunk. That is a word we use. You debunk it. So you make it less valid. So when you are checking your body paragraph, these are things you need to check. First, does the body paragraph that support my opinion, are they clear? When the reader reads it, is he able to tell the main idea of my body paragraph? Does he understand them? Is it clear? And then the second question is, did I support my claim? So any claim I make in my body paragraph, do I support it? Then your last body paragraph, you check whether you have presented the opinion of those who may disagree with you, and then whether you have made it less valid. Then in the conclusion, the question is, did I restate my thesis statement? Did I restate my thesis statement, especially for an argumentative essay? Because the example I'm going to give you is an argumentative essay. Did I restate my thesis statement or my opinion? And did I summarize or restate the point I made to support my opinion, which is the first 2 body paragraphs, the main point of the first 2, the main idea of the first 2 body paragraphs, which support your opinion. So these are the major things you can look at to say I wrote a good argumentative essay, or I wrote a good discursive essay. Now, going to some other aspects which I might discuss in another vlog. Those ones are, is my handwriting legible? It means When the examiner takes my paper, does my handwriting look nice? Can he read whatever I have written? That is very important. And then after that also, are my spelling correct? When we talk about spelling, we also mean punctuations. Are they correct? And especially for you guys, some words that you confuse most often. You think you are writing this word, but you are writing the other one. Those words are easily confused. So you look through again and you try to check if you have used the right word you wanted to spell. But those this last part, we are going to discuss them in another video. So for now, let's look at one essay that we wrote together today in school, and then let's see if we can boldly say that that is a good essay. So the question was, wearing a pre-owned outfit these days is something to brag about, not whisper. The stigma is by and large gone, but some worry it will become the next fashion trend. What are your views? So what do we do when we get a topic like that? The first thing is identify the topic. And as we identified from this question, the topic is wearing pre-owned outfit. Now, what is the issue? What is the issue? The issue is that some people are worried that wearing pre-owned outfit may become the next fashion trend. I always tell you that whenever you have the issue this way, put it in a question form. The reason why you put it in a question form is so that you will be able to give your opinion easily when you are answering the question. So in this case, the question will be, should people worry that pre-owned outfit is becoming the next fashion trend? Should people worry that pre-owned outfit is becoming the next fashion trend? So that will be the issue. That will be the issue. And then you come now with your opinion. Your opinion can be any of these three. Yes, people should worry. No, they should not worry. Or I am neutral. I am neutral. So we need to consider the advantages of worrying and the disadvantages of not worrying about that. So I believe in this type of question, being in the middle might be a bit difficult. That is my personal opinion, but you can think otherwise. So let's look at the model we wrote together in class today and analyze it. In our introduction, we said, nowadays, wearing second-hand clothes is no more something to be ashamed of. However, it is feared that this may become the next fashion trend. I believe this trend will not last. It will stop because many people do not enjoy wearing used clothes and the practice might transfer diseases. And let's see if that is a good introduction. If it is a good introduction, it must have a hook. And our hook can be a generalization. It can be statistics, pertinent statistics that we bring to draw the attention of the reader, or it can be an anecdote, a personal story, which we bring to grab the attention of the reader, or it can be a quote. It can be a quotation from a prominent person in society. And we said that the easiest hook that you can bring is generalization, because generalization, you can take part of the question, you rephrase it, and you use a time connector, and you craft a generalization. And I believe this is what we did here. When you look at the first sentence, nowadays wearing second-hand clothes is no more something to be ashamed of. So we just rephrased the general statement that was made in the question. So pre-owned outfit, we use second-hand clothes, and then something to brag about, which means something not to be ashamed of. And there is another word in the question, says stigma, and I think that is what we did. So, and we use a time connector, nowadays, which I believe is good per what we have discussed about how to write generalization. So that is good. Now the next part says, however, it is feared that this may become the next fashion trend, which is the issue here. People worry that that may become the next fashion trend, and we have brought the issue here. It is feared. So we have paraphrased, or we have used another expression to refer to the expression that people worry. So it is fear that it may become the next fashion trend. And after that, the next part is now our opinion. And you will see in this introduction, I believe this trend will not last. So our opinion is that it will not last. It is going to stop. We are not saying directly that people should not worry, but actually what we have said is what it means. That people should not worry about that because it is going to stop. It is not going to last. And now, in order for us to get our 50 words, we now need to give a summary of the reasons why we have said it. And this is what we are saying. It will stop because many people do not enjoy wearing used clothes, and the practice might transfer diseases. So we have two main reasons why we think people should not worry about that, because the trend is not going to last. And the first reason is that many people do not enjoy wearing pre-owned outfit. And the second reason is that wearing pre-owned outfit might transfer diseases. I believe this is a good introduction based on whatever we have learned about discursive essay. This is a very good introduction. Now, based on the reasons we have given to support our thesis statement in the introduction, we should be able to tell what to expect in our body paragraphs. Our first body paragraph should explain why we are saying that many people do not enjoy wearing used clothes. And then our second body paragraph is going to explain why we are saying, or give more detail on why we are saying that the practice might transfer diseases. So when you give reasons for your thesis statement, that also at the same time gives an idea to the reader about the plan of your essay, about the plan of your body paragraph, which is another good thing, or another benefit for doing that, for supporting your thesis statement, especially in the introduction. Apart from getting the number of words that will help us achieve the required total number of words. So let's look at the first body paragraph. In the first body paragraph, we wrote, one of the reasons why the trend of wearing pre-owned outfit will stop soon is that many people do not like wearing shabby clothes. Many people do not like wearing shabby clothes. So we are restating what we have said as an explanation for our thesis statement, that many people do not enjoy wearing used clothes. And shabby clothes gives an idea of used clothes. Now, for every claim you make, you have to support it. We are glad that this first sentence in this body paragraph gives an idea to the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. Now we need to support it, we need to detail it, and this is the detail we gave. Most second-hand clothes are in bad condition because they have been used already. That is an idea of what shabby clothes means, and of why we are saying that many people do not like shabby clothes. Because most second-hand clothes are in bad condition because they have been used already. Now, we are giving another detail to support what we have said and also link it to our thesis statement. Let us consider the white-collar working class. For example, bank workers. They always need to look presentable. Therefore, they will not buy thrifted clothes. Thrifted is another word to sound as second-hand clothes or pre-owned outfit. And you see that the last part, therefore they will not buy thrifted clothes, takes us back to the reason why we are saying that this trend is not going to last. Why is it not going to last? Because people don't like wearing used clothes. And used clothes look shabby. Used clothes are not in good condition. And because they are not in good condition, many people will not buy them. And if many people don't buy them, the trend of wearing second-hand clothes will die out. Do you get the linkage, the logic here? So I believe this body paragraph is a good one. We have the main idea. The main idea is that second-hand clothes look shabby and people will not buy them. Finish. Second-hand clothes look shabby, and people who want to look presentable will not buy them. And if they don't buy them, definitely it will not promote the trend of wearing second-hand clothes. Let's move to the second body paragraph. Another reason why we should not worry about this becoming a trend is the transfer of communicable diseases. Now, this again, the first sentence of the paragraph is giving us an idea of the main of the paragraph. Is giving us the main idea of the paragraph, and the main idea of the paragraph is that wearing second-hand clothes might lead to people contracting diseases. What are the details the writer or we give to support this point we made? The detail we are giving is this: any literate population, such as ours, should be aware that sharing clothes may facilitate the transfer of skin diseases such as scabies, ringworm, or even lice infestation. The idea of being sick due to wearing a shared cloth alone will discourage many not to try it. Do you get this? So what we are trying to say is this: wearing pre-owned outfit is likely to transfer diseases, or is likely to make us contract diseases. And the simple fact that any person who is educated knows that wearing pre-owned outfits is likely to get us to transfer diseases to us. Because of that, that person will not go for it, will not want to buy pre-owned outfit. Therefore, what will happen? The trend will not continue, the trend will not last. Now, we are done with our first body paragraph, our second body paragraph. We are now going to our third body paragraph. Our third body paragraph should bring the opinion of people who may disagree with us, and then make it less valid. Make it less valid, or make it carry less weight. And this is what we wrote here. Although second-hand clothing can be considered an economical choice for individuals from low-income background, it may not reflect their genuine preference. With sufficient financial resources, it is reasonable to assume that they would opt to acquire new garments as first owners rather than rely on previously owned items. So the simple thing we are trying to say here is this: many people may say, oh, but for people who don't have money, they may want to wear pre-owned outfit, isn't it? So on their side, they may think that yes, this fashion will become the next fashion trend, because many people who do not have enough money or who are poor economic background may rely on pre-owned outfit. However, it will not be their first choice. It will not be their first choice. Nobody who ideally has money would think of buying pre-owned outfit. They would rather be the first owners of anything they wear, and they won't want to share with anyone. Anyway, you are not the reader is not supposed to agree with your opinion. At this level, we don't look too much into what you use to support your opinion. That is your opinion, that is what you think. But the way you constructed your ideas, the way you presented your ideas in a logical manner is what the examiner is going to look at. And here, I believe we did it well. And I believe we have brought the idea or the point of those who may disagree with us, and then we have made it less valid, or we have made it carry less weight. Now we can conclude. Remember your conclusion. What we are checking in the conclusion is that, did I restate my thesis statement? And then did I summarize or restate the main ideas of the paragraphs that support my thesis statement? And look at what we have written here. Definitely you will have a concluding connector, a connector for conclusion. Ultimately, the desire to appear neat and presentable, combined with the risk of contracting skin infections, will deter many from wearing second-hand clothing. As a result, it is unlikely that this trend will persist in the long term. You remember in our introduction, we said this trend is not going to last. In our conclusion, we said it is unlikely that this trend will persist in the long term. So it is the same thesis statement that we mentioned in our introduction that we restated in our conclusion. Now, in our first body paragraph, the point we were making is that many people do not enjoy wearing used clothes. And you remember we gave example saying that people like those who work in the bank, they always want to look presentable. Therefore, they are not going to go for shabby clothes. So this is what we restated here in our conclusion. The desire to appear neat and presentable. Those people desire to appear neat and presentable. And the second point we made, the likeliness that people may contract diseases. Here we said combined with the risk of contracting skin infection, because the examples we gave there are mostly skin infection. So that risk will deter people. It means it will prevent people from wearing pre-owned outfits. Therefore, the trend is not going to last. And I believe, let me know your opinion. You may disagree with the point we brought here, but in terms of its form, from the examiner perspective, and for an essay for grade 11 or grade 12, I believe this is a very good essay. And this is how we expect you to be writing your essays. We try to make a lot of, we try to use a lot of, how do you call it? Paraphrase, which is what is expected for advanced learners. Instead of pre-owned outfit, we sometimes use second-hand clothes, we use thrifted clothes, we use shabby clothes. And then it is feared, we use people worry, we use it is feared that. So this is very good, because in advanced level we expect you to paraphrase the question prompt, and we expect you to demonstrate extended vocabulary range, that you understand the topic and you can refer to it in many different ways. And I believe this is perfectly good for an advanced learner, and for you, my ordinary learners also. I know you should be able to write something like that. So how do you tell that your discursive essay is good? Did I hook my audience in my introduction? Did I state the problem or the issue? Is my opinion clear? If I took a position, did I briefly state the reason why I took that position in my introduction? These are the 4 things you check in the introduction. Then when we move to the body paragraph, can the reader tell the main idea of my body paragraphs? And then do I give enough detail to support the main idea or the point that I make in my body paragraphs? And then coming to my conclusion, do I restate my thesis statement? And do I summarize the reasons that support my thesis statement? If you do that, you should be able to get good marks and pass your exams.